What did you make of your performance on Sunday and digesting it, and how different will the team be from the one that lost to Leicester?
Well, I think there were two different halves. The first half where we interpreted it really well what the game needed, and we were very dominant. We were very aggressive. We won the ball back in really good areas, and we didn't give the ball away in any dangerous areas. Apart from that, we created enough chances for sure to go ahead on the score. We didn't manage to do that. We scored a goal that was disallowed. And the second half, we started probably fatigue-wise to make some more mistakes in more difficult areas and not be as effective and as threatened that we should have been to finalize the game stronger. And the moment that we created an open space, they had a really good action and we conceded the goal. So I think it was we lost the game from a very small margin and disappointed because we should have done a little bit better there.
They may not be playing tomorrow night, but are you concerned about the lack of goals from Aubameyang and Lacazette?
Well, from everybody, when we play at home and we are not able to score a goal, I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the second half that we should have done better. I think I had the chance from Hector. They didn't have anything, to be fair, not till after 75 or 80 minutes. But still, it's something that we have to improve in this final third, the solutions that we have to give them to attack better, to be more continuous, to be able to sustain attacks in longer periods, and put the ball in the box more. And we've been working on that, so hopefully we can improve it.
Is David Luiz out tomorrow? Is Mustafi playing? And the third question is, have you offered him a new contract, Mustafi?
Well, to the first two with David, he is still having some discomfort in that area. Musti is completely fit to play, and obviously the internal contractual situations, they're going to be discussed internally. But
by the sounds of that, you want to offer him a contract? You're happy with his performances so far because he's split?
I've been really happy with Musti since I joined. The progress that he's made, the performances that he's had. It's true that now he had a long-term injury. He's worked so hard to get back in a position that where he is today, and I just wanted to show again the trust that we have in him and play him and get the performances that we got in the past from him as well.
He's had a hard time though from some Arsenal fans. So are you confident that there's an ability there and the fans will grow to love him at the end?
Yeah, I think there were a few cases when we joined in that position, and what we try to do is try to help the players as much as possible, encourage them to play with confidence, try to give them the right solutions, and then it was up to them to show with their performances where they are.
Thank you very much. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you.
Ian at Talksport.
Hi, Mikel. It's fair to say that you're expected to win tomorrow, expected to win well tomorrow. What sort of pressure does that bring?
Well, the pressure is related to this football club that you have to win every game because we didn't win against Leicester or Man City. We lost 1-0 both games from very, very small margins. And you can see the demands that everybody puts on us, which is the best thing because that's why we are the club that we are and that should never change.
You failed to score at home on Sunday. I think only Man City have stopped Arsenal scoring at home in the league in the last couple of years. Is it a concern? And to that end, how much does Eddie Nketiah have a big role to play?
Well, it's the role of everybody. First of all, mine to give him the solutions and the right structure to attack better. Obviously, this block and the way they set up is not easy at all. But we opened them up in the first half 5 or 6 times, and we should have scored a goal. But something that we are not too used to as well because we haven't faced teams doing it that regularly. But I think it's a really good sign that with Leicester suddenly comes to your house and acts like this is because they really respect you now and they are concerned. And we have to take that as something very positive as an advantage because if a lot of teams start to do that, I'm telling you that we're going to win a lot of games.
Not really mentioned, not because of the mentions of the European Super League, but if you look so far, every English side has won every game so far in European competition. Champions League and Europa League. So how strong does that say our Premier League is compared to the other leagues around the world?
Well, massive. I think in the last 8 to 10 months, the improvement of the teams in quality, in organization, and the way they are competing, it's been the biggest I've seen in recent years. And that's why you can see the difficulties of every team to win with big margins. And I think, in my opinion, it's not a coincidence. And you can see that in every Premier League game. So I think the league is in a great place at the moment.
Last one from me. Mesut Ozil seems to be your unofficial cheerleader when you're playing. On social media, he's getting right behind the team. Did so last week against Ajax and against Leicester. Are you pleased with what he's doing in terms of backing the side? And what are your comments about him also helping out kids in Barnet by providing them with food?
Well, I don't follow the social media. You're telling me this right now, but I always expect everybody that is involved in our organization to be supporting the team every time we play.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks, Mikel.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. We'll take some questions from our colleagues in Ireland. Can start with Dan McDonald from the Irish Independent.
Hi, Miguel. How are things? Yeah, listen, just 2 quick questions. Firstly, like your impressions of Dundalk from what you've seen and in your preparations for this game. I suppose on the same team, because you're playing like an Irish side with a lot of players who've been through sort of the English system, are you expecting something that's more typical of an English cup tie than maybe an average European game?
Well, we've got some Irish staff here, and I've been told a lot of positive things about them. What I've seen is a really determined coach that has found a really good cohesion around the team. You can see in every reaction when they are playing how united they are. Really well organized. They fight really hard, and yeah, they will be coming here with an incredible passion, being the underdogs, and that will give them a lot of energy. And I will expect them tomorrow to be full gas trying to beat us here.
You mentioned your Irish staff. Is it Barry Solon you've been talking to about this game? Has he given you
a few of them?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Paula Hare from Irish Mirror.
Mikel, how's things? Just wondering if you're familiar with the kind of the backstory to Dundalk's Italian manager. 3 months ago, he was coaching kids' academies in America. He'd never managed a senior team in his life. And then he was suddenly just appointed, very surprise appointment. I'm just wondering, does that romantic aspect of football kind of appeal to you on a human level?
I think it's a great story, and linking, different backgrounds and different countries into that story. I think it's a good one to hear. I watched a very long interview of his because I wanted to know who it is and what he's trying to do and what he's trying to express to his players. And this is why I found out what had happened. But straight away he said that he could feel that the players believe in what they were doing, which is everything that coaches want. And I think they have created a really good chemistry. The achievement from last season obviously has given them a big boost. So big merit to them for the work that they are doing.
And just finally for me, I suppose maybe in cup competitions, FA Cup, League Cup, you might get the odd upset, the odd crazy result, but at this level, European level, the chances of that happening are probably pretty minuscule, are they?
Well, I don't know. This is football, and I've seen a lot of things in this game, so I don't take anything for granted. And I always expect the opponent to be others. And after that, to base my players on what we have to do to win that game and execute it the best possible way. And that's it, and we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We go to James Rogers now at the Arcus.
Mikel, just from what you've seen of Dundalk, what would you say their strengths and weaknesses are?
Well, the strength, as I said, is the unity of the team, how hard they work together and how well they are organized. And then, there are a few bits where they look really dangerous. To put the context against us in the same situation is a little bit complicated. But yes, any team, if you allow them time and Spain will create issues, really strong on set pieces as well, and I'm sure they have prepared them for tomorrow, so we will have to control normal aspects that we have to do every week.
Any particular player or players that you like the look of or think could be a big threat against you?
I will highlight the team and the spirit that they have and how they competed, and against Molde, you could see straight away how much belief they have in what they do.
That's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we move on to Ian at Sky, please?
What are his chances of playing against Dundalk? And are you confident that he'll be okay for the weekend?
To play Dundalk, there is no chance, and it's a big doubt for him to play at the weekend.
And the rest of your squad, Willian missed the match against Leicester. Is he okay? Saka came off against Leicester, I think.
Yeah, Willian has been training with us the last 2 days, and tomorrow he might be involved in the game at some stage. And Bukayo was fine; he was a knock, but he's been training fine.
You're at Manchester United at the weekend. How big a factor will that be when it comes to your team selection against Dundalk?
Well, we try to go game by game, but obviously in the last 10 days we have a lot of issues at the back with the central defenders, and we have to be cautious that we have to manage that position very carefully, because if we lose another one, then we'll be in big trouble. So, of course, we have to keep an eye on how we're going to manage the squad in the next 2 or 3 games.
But finally, from me, can I ask you about the FA's Leadership Diversity Code, which was launched yesterday? It's aimed at tackling inequality in the English game. Arsenal have signed up to it. I mean, how much do you welcome that? How important is it?
We will support in any cause like that brings equity to our society, opportunities to everybody. We were talking now about the opportunity with the coach from Dundalk, and we can open the doors for anybody in this industry. I think we should do that. It's much better than it was 10, 15 years ago, but that doesn't mean that we cannot improve it and evolve it. So I think all these causes are really positive for our environment.
Wish you well. Thanks, Mikel.
Thank you, Ian.
Mark at Press Associations.
Mikel, I just wondered if I could ask you about Reiss Nelson. He's only played 81 minutes of first team football this season. Was that the plan, or were you hoping to have had him involved more by now?
Well, we end up with a large squad at the end of the transfer market. We had a few plans in mind with Reiss, and one of them as well was to send him on loan to get more minutes because of the competition we have up front. The reality is that he's been really good in training. He wants to stay here. He wants to fight for his place. Is what he's doing, and he's going to get the chances in the right moment. What I'm pleased with is that how he has assimilated the situation, not playing a lot of minutes in the first few weeks. As everybody can see, things are changing very quickly. We're getting injuries. We'll get more injuries because of the schedule that we have, and he will get the opportunities, and then it will come down to him to take them or not.
It was pointed out in the Telegraph's Arsenal newsletter today that he actually started 3 of the first 4 games under you when you took over. Does he understand why he currently isn't in the team? Do you have to have conversations with him and explain those situations?
Well, I tried. Obviously, to compare things that happened 8 or 9 months ago is difficult in a positive or negative way all the time. But I try to have a very open communication with the players and try to get their doubts out of their mind and try to talk clearly when they play or don't play, the reasons behind. And most of the time, they haven't done anything wrong. It's just because there is a lot of competition in these positions, and we are favoring other players in that moment, and that's it.
You mentioned the potential of going out on loan. Why didn't that happen? Was it just not being able to find the right profile of club, or did you run out of time? Or?
Yes, it was a mix, and as well because Reiss was really convinced that he wanted to fight to stay here, and as well when you see that willingness, that passion, and that security on a player, you feel tempted to keep him. Even though that that opportunities are going to be restricted, and he's not going to have a lot of continuity in his play. But things change very quickly, and he starts playing and plays well, and he does what he can do. why not he can start to play more games.
Thanks, Mikel.